Hello everyone, welcome to a new video by Ryan Lee. Well, I'm actually just kind of out of opening, so felt a little boring saying the same thing. But anyway, welcome to a new video in the Casual Online Game Series. Ryan here again. And, you know, I've probably said this a couple times already, but I'm really happy with all the support that I've been getting from you guys, and just want to say thanks again. And when you guys tell me that you enjoy the videos, it really gives me a lot of motivation to keep going. And I actually saw a pretty good suggestion, is that I should talk about some stories when the game gets a little boring, so I'll try to talk about some of that when I see fit. Yeah, so if you guys want to see some stories, interesting facts about random tournaments, I'd be happy to share those. So we have a very interesting joseki in the upper left. It's actually quite old. It's yeah, it basically I think it's pretty rare. Haven't played this probably in years. So yeah, so that jump was a Tsuji, and now white connects back. So I guess we finished the joseki now. So after I push and push, white has to extend first before connecting under, which I need to push first, and then I Atari twice, and do stuff in the corner. So it's actually a pretty direct variation. Not too many choices for either side. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward one, but I think a lot of players don't really like white. So okay, and we are back. Sorry about the interruption there. I'm not sure what happens to the connection sometimes. It's slightly unstable. But let's continue up this joseki. Yeah, it hasn't really been played in such a long time that I think I kind of forget that it's a joseki even. So I attach, he kosumis, and then I connect. So pretty simple stuff, and then I extend. And so it's a local fight. It's pretty, I would say it's not that good for white, I think. Personally, I don't really like white. It's true that this shape is relatively heavy, but he is also heavy. And after this exchange, he's basically given me the center direction, because I get to, enclose the other way. So I feel like I'm nothing to be afraid of, really. But yeah, good to play a different opening once in a while. It's not something I get to do all the time. Okay, so this move, it's interesting. I guess I just tenuki now. Huh. That's a bit surprising. Why would he kosumi there? He's just making his own shape kind of bad, actually. Huh. Oh, he's trying to get sente here. But what if I attach now? Oh, I see. If I attach, he is probably going to hane and extend. Yeah. So, but if he does that, I can still find a way to get Sente, I think. I still do want to attach. If I Kosumi here, and he's going to block, and then I extend, he's going to block. So in that variation, I think it's harder for me to fight. So I'm going to attach first, and then, oh, that is somewhat unexpected, because he has kind of bad shape again. So I'm trying to think whether I should pull back or play this move. Okay, so if I pull back, he's going to... Okay, let me turn on the coordinates. So if I pull back, he's going to extend, and I don't think this cut works. So that's a little awkward. So what I think I should do is I should exchange this and play the tigers now. And that's going to... So he's going to Atari, but then... Oh. Okay, that's interesting. I thought he really wanted Sente here, but I guess he's okay with sacrificing the side as well. Okay, so he exchanged all that, but I don't see what he gained from that stuff. So yeah. I haven't actually played a game that was more engaging. I feel like recently these games have been a little easy. So maybe I'll invite my friend again and we'll have like a 10-game playoff or something. That would be interesting. Let's see. This move actually seems kind of aggressive because, well, he's the one getting attacked. So right now if he Ataris, I can Atari on this side. And, well, he didn't. But I think... I really want to get this move. And I feel like it's not that attackable. Because if he plays here, I can always attach out. So I'm gonna fight with him between these two middle groups. Actually here, I want to find a way to enclose probably. Yeah, I think I want to be a little safe now because I feel like this move is going to be worth more than going under right now because he can just go in, but well, I get this jump, and also I just kept all the center, so this trade already feels really good for me. So as long as I keep the center enclosed, I should be okay. Well, not just okay, but I should be doing very well. Well, he's going to just exchange everything, and that's actually helping me become more solid. Let's keep Tenyuki. Then I think I will bully this corner a little bit. So I don't think it's even alive that comfortably. Since, well, if he blocks here, then it's definitely not going to be alive if I push. Now, well, since it's not live locally, the question is, can I use outside sources to live? So the first thing that comes to mind is something to do with this side. I don't think there is anything really, but it's useful to always verify. Like, I feel this is just way too simple. There's just no other variation really. There is a ko. Okay, I kind of missed that. I think I should have saw that. Yeah, there's actually a ko. I don't want to deal with that right now, so I'm just going to go back to the right side and kind of leave that. Locally, it's still dead because if he descends here, I can push and extend. But here, there's actually a ko. After he peeps here, he can push here, and then he can push and then throw in. And that's actually very annoying. I don't want to be fighting a heavy ko at this point, so well, since he doesn't exchange this, I might as well play here. I think at this point, I don't really need to gain that much anymore. Like, let alone capture the whole thing. So again, I'm just trying to keep my general direction. So yeah, as long as I enclose the center. I should be doing very well. So I'm going to block here. I thought he was going to wedge actually, but he didn't. So I also want to go to this side as well. Because even though he captured those two stones, it's actually not completely alive locally. So yeah, it's a very comfortable endgame actually. So okay. I guess I will. Is it worth the exchange? I think I should just capture it. It's a very strong shape locally, so Well, I'm gonna connect. This is actually Sente on this group, so he's gonna have to answer here. And then later I get to Kosumi. So I actually made like 8 points in his territory, pretty much. And wait, he's leaving this, so I don't think he saw that this is dead. But it can't be. He's 7 done. He should see that. Should I deal with this first, or do I not need to?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I don't think I need to. I'm just gonna capture the corner. This is too easy. And yeah, easy corner. So yeah, when you're being desperate, you shouldn't let your opponent know that you're this desperate. I think this is a kind of a too obvious desperation move. But yeah. Yeah, if you're desperate, don't look desperate. Oh my god, really? Come on. I have all of these stones here and he's gonna jump inside? Really? How is that possibly going to work? Tell me. Oh dear. Okay, I don't even know what... Okay, I'll just connect this. Fix it in one move. Oh. So yeah, sometimes you feel like you can just pass. And you don't know what to do. Okay. Yeah, playing fast doesn't mean you know what you're doing necessarily. This is... Well, we can, at least, since he's playing fast, we can finish him off quickly. So that's always a plus. Yeah, so I think this needs a hashtag. When your opponent plays a bunch of meaningless moves and they feel gote, what should you do? I wonder if that's a Go meme. I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments, because I've been following the Go memes. I think this should be a Go meme, by the way. God. I just want to make sure that there's no like shenanigans here, and there isn't. So if he pushes, I just block, and there's nothing. So okay, that was an easy game. No offense to my opponent. So I think there's a few direction issues as white. The first one being attaching onto my weak group. So this is obviously a mistake, because, well, if this is obviously the weak group because my upper group is alive. So the proper move is probably like you would want to press onto a group that's stronger. Whereas attaching here in the game, as you saw, it actually make the center group a lot stronger. So that's definitely a no. So I think what should have happened was probably, I would probably go for like pressing up here or something, or even just jumping out. I think it's more conventional. And yeah, so basically after this I felt already pretty comfortable, since he had to add a move there, and I can basically play fast in the opening. And then the stuff I didn't really understand. He was trying to attack, but then he kind of got afraid and let me capture the 3 stones. And actually, yeah, pretty useful to Suji there, to capture the stones, because if you block, your opponent can clamp. So it's just slightly better. And yeah, so after here, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to enclose because it's simpler, but what a lot of players would probably do is this, and I think this is perfectly okay. Just attack it, connect back, and then later invade here. That would be perfectly fine. And yeah, so I just wanted to see what my opponent will do to fight back. So right now, I think it's pretty clear that he should actually just play on the side. Well, he definitely shouldn't Atari because that's why can't I play? I'm not sure what's going on. Let me oh, I think what is going on? Did I leg out? So that's also a pretty good alternative as well. So if we keep going, yeah, I think right now white should definitely extend. One is way more complicated, and for one, black can't connect because after this, these 3 stones get captured, so that's not good. If black blocks though, then when white extends, it's way more complicated, and white will likely be able to push out this way, so that's going to be more of a fight, I guess. So yeah, in the game, I actually was expecting something more along the lines of this. So yeah, because locally black can't. Okay, so I guess black can capture. But white should have enough liberties to fight back for a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure if this works actually. I was actually kind of just thinking about this in the game, and I thought this wouldn't be very good for white anyway. But yeah, since he lived there, I got to jump down, and it just felt really good for black because think about it, white lived here. It was originally black's territory, but black kept the center and also reduced all of white's territory. So if you look at the trade as being the same, black just gained all the center. So pretty good result for black. And then after a while, he helped out a little bit here. So I think locally, white has to jump here to live, and locally that's actually alive. And I'll leave it to you guys to verify that. It's actually not one of those Tesujis because you can't actually attach here. That's actually a fake Tesuji, by the way. So yeah, it's locally alive. So, but not in the way. So in the game, I mentioned this. I didn't really want to play here because there is actually a code this way. Well, so he can descend and he can block. And now, if he attaches here, for example, I wouldn't be able to block because then he can push, and you'd be able to start this ko. I definitely don't want that because, for example, he can cut here, so that just complicates things. So I didn't want to continue here. But of course, if I don't reduce all the liberties, he can't really do that. So if he does this, well, actually, this might not even be sente, but white would have to reduce black's liberties first before starting this ko. So that's why it's really hard to capture a group because once you try, all of your own weaknesses become actually very apparent. So we continue a little bit. Yeah, I guess what's after is kind of not very useful. It was so I think what the biggest mistake is probably that. I mean, that's a big mistake, but I don't think white would have been able to come back even if he didn't make the mistake. So if white wedged here, I would probably just give it to him. I was thinking about that a little bit because it's not too big anyway. And I mainly wanted to just get this jump and protect my stone up there. But I think black is winning by Oh, okay, it's not that much actually. But black has a lot of more potential. For example, I can extend here in Sente, I can make him live in there. So I feel like this is still relatively comfortable. So yeah, in the end, I was trying to get a go meme going, but maybe it'll get going. I don't know. So as I promised, I'm going to tell you guys a small story in the end of this video. So I'll be right back. So welcome back, and welcome to the story of today. I wanted to talk about this photo because I actually came across this photo on Facebook pretty recently. This was taken in 2017, and I think this is just priceless. There's just so many things going on here. So this is taken at China Qiyuan during the Lily Cup, and so here is right near the end of the game. So that's me. I was playing Cheng Honghao, who was two-dan professional, and this was the main tournament. So all these pros, they have had to won quite a few games in the preliminaries in order to qualify. Some of you guys might recognize here. He is Zhou Yang, 9-dan professional, who is obviously super strong, and he was just kind of chilling there. And this player, his name is Zhao Xinghua, and he's actually a very well-known Go teacher. He's been teaching a lot of very, very strong Go players. He's was actually explaining the game to me, and like at that time, I actually won this game by half a point. By the way, as you can see, well, actually, you probably can't tell from the board, but you can see there's 5 stones here, indicating that black had 185, and by Chinese counting, black wins by 1.5 that way. So in Chinese rules, if you didn't know, you can't really win by half a point. You have to win by 1.5 in regular cases. And as pros, like it's probably not going to be 175 or 195, because losing by 10 stones or 20 points or winning by 20 points is pretty unheard of in professional gameplay. But anyway, I won this game, and I felt really honored because he actually came by. He was watching the game. He was obviously not here the whole time, but he followed the game, and he came by near the end to watch, and he was actually paid a lot of attention to my game near the end. So I felt very I don't know, like it's not something I expected him to do, and I was listening very carefully and paying attention to everything he had to say about my game. And also, you can see here, this is actually my favorite drink. Anyway, so yeah, Zhou Yang was watching. So we were about to get dinner later, and he was like, like from the expression, you can totally tell he's a little hungry. Anyway, yeah. So that's the good thing about going to tournaments in China, is you get a lot of good food, you get to meet a lot of friends, and it's really nice. And actually, I'm not sure who that. I think that's Ilya, but I'm not sure if that's him. It kind of looks like him from behind. But anyway, I'm pretty sure he was at that tournament though. So yeah, this was a very interesting shot that was taken. Very fond memories of China Qiyuan. Every time I go, I always learn something new. And I think that time, I played badminton with a group of Go friends there, which was very interesting. By the way, they're like right across from the professional sports league, so all of the national sports teams and players live in that local area, so they get like really nice gyms and courts and stuff. So yeah, that's also very nice. And so after winning this game, which was round in 64, I advanced to the 32, and I was facing Chen Yaoye. And as you guys probably know, I did win that game, and I was very lucky. But this game was actually the more memorable one, because I was really, really focused. I really wanted to win because, that's always my goal. Is the first game I don't want to lose, because, well, if you lose, you're you just go for a game and you're out, right? So that's always been my goal, is to win at least one game every tournament I go. And I did manage to achieve that a couple of times, which, to me, that's an achievement. And in particular, this game strikes out to me because there's so much going on like all the time, and I never really knew what was going on. And it just felt like things were lingering. It was really close all the time. At some points I felt I was leading, and some points I wasn't. So I was so focused, and it took like 370 moves or something like that. And it's those games that are really, really memorable. Of course, the game after this was just as memorable. But I just like to share that with you. Pretty interesting perspective. If you guys like to hear more about my perspective on tournaments or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.